Hi all, welcome back to Oops with C++ session 6. In previous session we have started procedural approach of C++ and we have discussed a small program, first program.cpp. There we have discussed what each line represents, what is C out or what is C in, how to add documentation, how to provide comments, and what is we have introduced a new data type called bool. So all these things we have discussed in last session. Now in today's session we will discuss about the compilation process of the same first program.cpp, first program.cpp program. Okay, let's see, this is the program what we have discussed in previous session. My first program.cpp. The first line consists of program in .cpp. This is a comments or documentation, and we are including hash include iostream file, which is responsible to do input output operation. Okay, so these two things we are doing. These things just observe this one. So one is comment, and we are including this file. In the compilation process, we will see the step-by-step procedure how the compilation will takes place of this program. Later, we will see um, how the executable file will be loaded to the RAM memory. Okay, so when we talk about compilation process, in Linux environment, what we are doing is we have to use the command called g++ and provide the first program.cpp as the command line argument to g++ compiler. Now, what this g++ process now g++ process will start with the first program.cpp as an argument. Now, this process is started g++ process, and this process what it will do is it will take this .cpp as an argument, and it will give this .cpp program to uh, another process called preprocessor. Okay, now this preprocessor what it will do is it will take this .cpp and it will generate a intermediate file .i. So what the responsibility of this preprocessor is to include IO stream file, that is yeah, whatever header files we have used, all those files it will be including, and whatever documentation we have provided by using comments, all those documents, all those comments will be removed from the file, and finally it will generate one .i file for us. Okay, one single .i file it will generate. That .i file is first program.i. Okay, so preprocessor input is .cpp and output is .i. In the same way, this .i file will be given to the compiler. What this compiler will do is it will take the output of the preprocessor, that is .i, and it will compile this code, .i code, intermediate code, and it will generate us a .s file, that is nothing but an assembly file. Now, this assembly file will be an input to the assembler, and it will generate .o files. Okay, so assembler input is .s, that is assembly code, and it will be given to assembler, and assembler responsibility is to generate .o file, that is object file. Okay, so now and this .o file will be given to the another process called linker. Now what this linker will do is not only the .o files from our code, what we can do is we can add all other .o files also, or if any other um, library files are there, all those files we can add it. Maybe it is static libraries. If any static library files, .o files are there, you can give all those .o files to the linker. Now what this linker will do is it will take all these .o files as the input, and it will provide a final executable code, or final executable, that is nothing but a dot out. Okay, so this linker responsibility is to give the final executable code by combining or by linking all these .o files. We have seen in the programs we used to get sometimes like redeclaration error or the redefinition errors. All those these redefinition errors or redeclarations error we will encounter in linker step, in the linker step. Okay, so when I say G++ first program dot CPP, there are multiple stages will be applied to that code. So first is pre-processing. After pre-processing, you'll get data file, intermediate file. That intermediate file will be given to the compiler. Now compiler will convert this data file to .s file, that is assembly code, and that assembly code will be given to the assembler for further conversion of .o. And all this such type of .os will be given to the linker, and we will get the final executable code, that is nothing but a.out. Now this a.out consists of all the executable code, executable instructions, and also it is having the information like how much stack memory is required, how much data segment memory is required, how much text segment memory is required. All this information it will be having. Okay, so now assume I want to stop the compilation somewhere after the pre-processing itself. So for that, what we have to do is you compile the code. You compile the code by using -e option. When you give g++ -e first program.cpp, then we will get first program, so data file. So if I want to stop the compilation after generating .s, then give g++ -s first program.cpp. And if you want to stop the compilation after generating .o files, then give g++ -c minus first program.cpp. And if you want, so now assume that you have .o files like this, and you want to add some more .o files along with your first program .o. During that time, what you can do is you can use g++ -o first program.o. You can give first program.o, second program.o, third program.o, x.o, y.o, z.o. Like that, you can add all the object files to this to generate the final a.out file. Okay, so like this we can run it, we can stop the compilation here itself by using these options. Okay, so G++ will be given to processor, preprocessor, after preprocessor compilation, after compilation assembler, after assembler linker, after linker we will get the final executable a.out. And where is this a.out file will be present, and this file will be present in hard disk. Okay, that a final executable code is present in a.out. Now we have to run that a.out. How we will run? To run that a.out, we need RAM memory. Okay, so we have to run the a.out file in RAM memory, but a.out is present in hard disk. Now we need someone who is fetching this a.out information from hard disk to RAM memory. So that is taken care by the loader. So what this loader's responsibility is, to it will check the a.out file, or it will take the a.out file, requested a.out file from the hard disk, and it will load to RAM memory. And now this a.out file, with the help of RAM memory, it is loaded into the RAM memory. Okay, now this a.out is called as process. The program which is under execution is called process. Okay, so loader responsibility is to load any executable file from hard disk to RAM memory, and this loader will decide how much memory we have to give to this process, and how much data segment memory, how much text segment memory has to be allocated for this process. Okay, this is about the loading the a.out file to RAM memory. Now we can execute. Now the program counter will start executing instructions present in this a.out process step by step, and we'll get the final output on the monitor. Okay, now we'll see this program. Will this see this program? Okay, just I'm opening a terminal. Yeah, okay. So sign double dot. Okay, so just see this program, first program.cpp. Now you can see my first program, this is a comments. After that we have used hash include IOStream. So next, this is the code. Now what I will do is I will close this. Okay, so now I will generate intermediate file minus e. So give first program dot cpp. You just redirect this to program dot I file. Okay, so now we will see this my first program dot I, what it consists of. You can see the lot of information it is having. So file name is my first program.cpp, and you cannot see this hash my first program.cpp, that comment you cannot see. This is intermediate file. All these preprocessor directives will be included here. All the files are getting included here. So now if you see here, there is something like namespace std. Okay, so now all the files, all the header files are having this namespace std. Okay, so now if you come down, this is entire thing hash include iostream. Whenever you do, all these things will be included. So now if you see, uh, this is where our actual program is started using namespace std. From here, this is the code what we have typed, but before to this line we have used hash include iostream. Okay, hash include iostream, and before to that hash include iostream we have used my program, my first program, that comments. Okay, so you cannot see my first program.cpp, but instead of hash include iostream, you can see all these contents are included in data file. And now this data file is the will be given to the compiler, and compiler will generate data. Now I want to stop the compilation after after compilation process means, I have to stop, I have to generate assembly code. Okay, use minus s option. Okay, so now if you see, there will be a code generated with the first program dot s. Okay, now to open this file. Okay, you can see all the assembly instructions here. Okay, it will sell text segment. It is what is there in text segment. All these executable instructions are there, right? Enter a b values, c value, all these things are present in text segment. Even main, where it is present in main function. So all these things are present in this, and these instructions are related to IO stream. Okay, so like this, the assembly code is generated. Okay, now this assembly code is given to, will be given to um assembler, and it will generate the .o file. Okay, so now if I want to generate .o file only without final file, okay, give minus c. Okay, now if you see, you have, it is got generated first program dot o. Okay, okay, so once you do size of first program dot c dot o, what it will do is this file consists of how much a text segment, how many bytes of text segment it has to be, and how many bytes of data segment it has to be, and BSS segment, and all this information it will be having, and file name first program dot o. Okay, so now this dot o file is there. So like that, we can have multiple dot o files, and we can link all those dot o files to get the final a dot out file. Currently we don't have any other data files, so I'm directly going with g++ first program dot cpp, and which is going to generate a dot out file. So you can see this a dot out file. Okay, now this a dot out file, where it is present, it is present in the hard disk, and somewhere in the location homes, Satya, my programs, and this location a dot out. Now I have to execute this a dot out. So what I will do is I will do slash a dot out. Now as soon as I do like this, now immediately from hard disk, the loader will load this a dot out to RAM memory, and now the process started. Now enter a comma b values 10 comma 20. So now since both values are different, not equal, it will return 0. C value is 0. Now again a dot out process is completed in RAM memory. Now again I have to load. Again I have to load. Now again the loader will load this one dot slash a dot out. Now give the two values 10 comma 10. Value is 1. Okay, so you can type size a dot out. Okay, so here it will say this complete. The linker will add some static libraries also. Now the text segment value of this a dot out is 2982 and data segment is 688. BSS segment is 576. Decimal 4246 hex 1096 and file name is a dot out file. Okay, so it consists of all this information. Lot of segments it will consist of. So in upcoming session, we will see how to read this .wo file, what are the contents it is having. All those information we'll see in the upcoming session. Okay, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share.